How I left my abusive parents. My baby is sleeping, so, well, she was asleep, now she's up. So, if for those of you who know, I have a 10 out of 10 ACEs score. I was sexually and physically assaulted from 3 until 13 years old. My egg donor sexually assaulted me, and she will also allow other people to sexually assault me as well. My sperm donor was never really in my life like that. I can literally count on both hands how many times I've seen him. So, when it all came to an end with my sister's father sexually assaulting me because he's the one who took my virginity, and when my sperm donor found out about it, he basically pretended like he was going to do something to him. And then he's a sociopath. My egg donor is a psychopath. My sperm donor is a sociopath. So when my sperm donor popped up to pretend like he was going to protect me, he started crying because my egg donor was like, she's lying. And my sperm donor was like, I don't know who to believe. But and then he took me when I turned 13 years old. This was when I was 11. When I turned 13, he said I could live with him, and he just sexually assaulted me as well. And he was like, yeah, women have their dad's babies, their father's babies. It was sick. I will do more story times on this, but I just wanted to share that so you can see that what I went through is very severe, and I'm very grateful because I healed myself. I know a lot of people go through trauma, and trauma can really fuck your mind up. It can mess up it can just take away enjoying life. I'm here to tell you life is honestly beautiful, but I wouldn't know life is beautiful if I stayed. And the way I left them was my egg donor would tell me to leave her home since I was 9 years old. At 9 years old is when my sister's father, we would play a game that basically he was my boyfriend. It was grooming, of course. And the word got out. So when it got back to my egg donor, even though she knew from the time I was 6 until 9, he would just do oral sex on me. And she knew about this because she would let him come into my room. So at 9 years old, though, it got outside of the home. Because it got outside of the home, this pissed her off. So she always used to beat me. That's another thing. She would fuck me up all the time. So I was afraid. I was always a scary child growing up. And at 9 is when she said, you know what, you need to leave my house right now. So at that point, I knew that I need fucking money. I need money. I need to get emancipated. I need to get away from her. And every time I would leave, so at 9, she told me to leave. 10, like every year, she would tell me to leave up until 2015, because that's when I left for good. And then I went to college and things like that. But she would always tell me to leave. And because she would always tell me to leave, at 11, I just started to run away. I said, fuck it, let me just run away. But then it was a psychological game, because then she would call the cops. She would put me away in mental institutions. She would say that I'm the problem child. I'm not gonna lie, I had a really hard childhood, and I'm really grateful to be here because I've tried to unalive myself a few times, and I literally used to wish to just not be alive at all. But here's how I finally got away. By her constantly telling me to leave, by me running away, by me getting my feet wet outside, because here's another part of my story. She kept me homeschooled too. So I never had interactions with other people. Growing up, I always felt like I was weird because I didn't know how to communicate with other people my age. And while I was being homeschooled, I was also being sexually exposed to things and having sex. So my mind was fucked up, honestly, growing up. But all these things prepared me, because the very last time she made me leave her home is the time that I said, I'm not ever going back. I don't give a fuck what happens. I don't give a fuck what happens out here in this world. I'm never going back to her fucking house again. And I started to do hair. Okay, I've had over 30 different jobs. Now I have my own business. Now I'm very successful. Now my life is really good now. That's why I'm telling you my story, because it's very much possible to completely heal from your childhood traumas. I am healed from that shit. But it took me time, and it took me the willingness to hustle. And now I'm not a hustler because I'm in flow. When you in your gift and your truth, it's enjoyment. But back then, I would leave jobs back to back because it wouldn't work out. It was narcissists there. It was just a reflection of my childhood. But that still didn't stop me. I would do anything I could. I would work when I got a car, I started to do Uber, DoorDash, okay, Postmates, okay, shopping, doing people's food deliveries. I would go to the grocery store and bag up all their groceries, shop for all their groceries, and drop it right off to them. I've done literally everything. The only things I couldn't do, because I was overweight at the time, I lost 75 pounds on my own. I have a free article too that shows you how childhood trauma is linked to being overweight. So the only things I couldn't do was strip. At one point I wanted to strip so bad because I'm like, yo, I need this money. But again, I was a bit awkward. So because I was a bit awkward and overweight, I think that those two things were a negative against me to strip, because that was like, I felt like that was like my way out. My grandmother did strip. So part of that was in my head, because I knew she would say, I got money, I made money. So I was like, I need to do this. I need to. And when I tried to go apply for it, the manager was like, you lose a few pounds and come back, because my overweightness was not proportioned, right? There are a lot of females who may be overweight, but honestly, it looked good, because it's like, this is just me. You feel me? This is just me. I'm the type, I like flat stomachs and, you know, butts, because that's what I got. I'm the reflection of the type of woman I would like if I was a man. I'm balanced in my masculine and my feminine, but I love men, so I'm with a man. But just body-wise, if I was a thicker girl, if I was 210 pounds again, shit, if my stomach flat and that ass fat, I'm good. But that wasn't my weight, though. When I was 210, my stomach matched my ass, okay? So I say this because stripping just was not an option for me because of the way I was proportioned. But I'm not even going to say that. It's probably so many women who look all kind of ways and are able to do it. It's your confidence. I clearly was not confident. So that wasn't one of my ways out. And because that wasn't one of my ways out, okay, I had to tap into my intellect. Now I start to lose my weight. By me leaving my environment, by me working 30 different jobs, going to school, getting my bachelor's and my master's degree, okay, in psychology. So I am a clinical counselor. By me doing all these different things, this boosted my confidence. I have a very big ego because I did that work and I know who the fuck I am. And I'm very proud of myself. I became my own mother and my own father. I reparented myself. By me reparenting myself, that gave me the love I never had. I became exactly that of which I always yearned for. I always craved for as a child. This is how I left my abusive, toxic family, because I knew survival equals money. Money is going to give me the peace and the freedom that I require. But it took me a long time to stop people pleasing. I stopped people pleasing 2 years ago. I have 2 years free of people pleasing. I stepped into being a dark empath. I was always an empath, but I chose to become the dark empath. And darkness is not a bad thing, right? Dark empaths are not narcissists. Darkness is that shadow. Darkness is learning what are the manipulative arts that people do. What are the tactics? Now you learn it. Now you know I'm protected. You can't play me. You can't use me. So I've done, it's so much more, but I love YouTube because I'm able to just continue to share and look back at my own journey. But this is how I left. I left by, again, you got to figure it out on your own. I've worked with so many people who stay with abusive grandparents and mothers and fathers because they're financially supporting you. When you come over here, I'm a coach. Now I'm a coach. I mean, I still use my therapeutic skills, of course. I graduated summa cum laude, so we're not going to take away from the educational aspect, but I'm naturally a coach. I lost 75 pounds on my own. So when you come work with me, I have to be real with you. If you want better for yourself, you cannot grow in the same environments that broke you. I would not be the woman that I am today if I still talk to these people. I have 4 years no contact. 4 years no contact. Because 2 years before I graduated, I already started to distance myself and not fuck with those people anymore. And now I look back, I don't know these people. I don't have a resonance with these people. There's no emotional charge. There's no connection. I've ascended past the mindset of somebody can curse you. Somebody can spell you. Somebody's blocking your blessings. I've literally went through hell. I went through things on my own by myself. I lived in a whole state where I knew not a single fucking soul. That was my way of shedding and finding who I truly am, because it was always within me. By me doing this, I realized that it's all on me. Life is all on you. Nobody's not going to give you the things you desire. You have to get up and go take that shit. The 75 pounds of weight that I lost, nobody didn't help me do that. I could have if I had to pay for a coach, you know. But at that time, I was struggling. So all I knew was, let me hit this gym after work. I worked overnight. Let me go to the gym as soon as I get off at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm there. I was dedicated. And all these things I went through by myself. When I left campus in 2023, I drove 12 hours and I stayed in a state where I knew not a single soul. And that right there was like that was my final initiation for me to truly always trust myself. I am a master. I have mastered manifested my entire life. I have a provider man who is the most amazing Black man I have ever met. I have a beautiful daughter who's spoiled. Like, I am so fucking happy. And this is only the beginning of my growth and my success at this point, because I was very angry. I was very projecting. I would just project. It was just a lot, okay? But this is how I left my this is how I left my I say egg and sperm donor, but for the title purposes, it will say parents. But words have meaning. An egg and sperm donor is just a portal. That's it. Just like a surrogate, right? A surrogate has this baby for you so that way you and your partner can raise this baby and be happy. And you never have to tell that baby if you choose to, or you can, to be honest and be transparent. But that baby's going to grow up like, this is my mom. This is my fucking mother. Same thing with your egg and sperm donor, who are your parents. They're really not your parents. They were just a portal for you to come here, for you to heal, and for you to live a life that they could never give you. They could never give you the type of life that you desire, that you require, that you deserve. You deserve to live a lit ass life. You deserve to have whatever type of partner you want. You deserve it. I got a type of man that I never seen, that the life I'm living, I never seen this growing up at all. Maybe on TV, but I never seen a woman in my environment who had a good, healthy man, because the women were not healthy and they didn't get healthy men. So I am the embodiment and the reflection that you can heal and you can have anything you want and you can live a very soft, feminine life. My life now is soft and feminine. I went from survival mode, stressed the fuck out, moving all around and jumping here, jumping here. I am free. I am free, and I want you to know that you can be free as well. And if you're ready to start your transformational journey, you can click the link below to book your one-on-one. I am now offering 30-minute sessions. I have 60-minute sessions and 30-minute sessions. 30-minute sessions are $35. You can email me for those, but if you want a 60-minute session, that link is below. I do have a book. I am a best author seller, okay? My book is linked below as well. That will inspire you. I have free articles. I have a free course too. I have a free course for you. It's called Your Authentic Self. It's a mastermind that will help you. I'm here to service you because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be in pain. I know what it's like to project and think someone's out to get you. The world is just unfair. It's not that the world is unfair. You are who you're waiting for. You're waiting for yourself. The universe responds off of how you feel. Our reality is created by our emotional charge to our thoughts. So if you are having negative thoughts, you're going to see negative patterns. And these things come from your childhood traumas. But when you heal these things, you get everything that you are. Peace, love, and darkness. Stay rich, wet, and what? Dangerous. And that's on what? Period. Deuces.
Had to hop over fences and climb up the ladder to get what I want, bitch. I'm just getting better. They tried to tell me I would never be shit. Look at me now, body built like a brick. Sleep all you want, but I'm chasing my dreams. Everything I do is fucking supreme. Came from the hood, ain't shit